Welcome to Just Blazor Programming. This is the first in a series of Blazor programming tutorials that will teach you the basics of Blazor. So who is this video for? If you're someone from the .NET space and want to understand Blazor, or if you're somebody who has an interview to go to and needs to refresh Blazor concepts quickly, this is the perfect series for you. Now, I will teach you in this way. I will go for the high level concept first of whatever the topic is, and then I'll teach you the programming behind that concept, so how to actually run that in Blazor. And if you have not started yet, I need you to have a Blazor project ready to go. If you do not have one, I have a video right here that will teach you how to get started on one, just the very basic one that Microsoft provides, so you don't gotta do too much work in there, but you will need some packages and that could get confusing, blah blah blah. Anyways, go watch that, then return here, and then we'll get you started. So let's go over data binding. Data binding in Blazor works like in any other component-based framework, Angular, React, whatever, in which that the UI is connected to the data behind it. So and it comes in two different flavors: one-way data binding and two-way data binding. And the difference between them is that one-way data binding renders whatever the data that's connected to it, while two-way data binding both renders and manipulates the data. So that's all there is to it. One-way data binding, two-way data binding is the easiest concept you can learn on Blazor, and I'm going to be moving on to the programming example. So stick around for a second while I change. Okay, everybody, now we're going to begin the program portion of this tutorial, and this is the original project that I made in that video. In case you went there, it is called Intro Project, and I made it with Microsoft Visual Studio 2019. This is 2022 though. However, the steps are the exact same to create it, and you could use either one regardless. So in this case, I'm just going to go over what you'll be getting to make sure that it runs. So just give it a moment here. So as you can see, this project has already 3 components built into it. We have a home tab, a counter tab. If you click, you get to see some numbers, and a fetch data tab, which is they've hard coded some data in there somewhere, and now this will show it. So if you just want an example of one-way data binding, this weather forecasting is a great example of it, as all it could do is display the data that's connected to it. And this counter is an example of two-way data binding, where this is actually going to change it's going to change and render whatever it is that's up here. So that's basically it. Tutorial over. I'm kidding. We're actually going to go into it a little bit more in depth and teach you how to actually do the data binding within Blazor. So let's get started. In this case, I want you to have the index.razor file out and about, like you see I have it here. And then I want you to go to the intro project. Don't click like that, but you need to right click it, add new folder, and we're going to call it models. Here we're going to house all our classes basically. So this is very similar to how Razor ASP.NET MVC does it, and that's how I'm used to it, and I'm going to organize my code similarly. You don't have to do this, but if you want to follow the tutorial, please do. Now we're going to add a new item in here. We're going to add a new class and call this class base model. So in base model, it might give you you could do one of these. Boom, boom. So Blazor has already preemptively added the ID and the name to this class. I think this is something that it will do automatically to any class, but this is what I want. I just want a simple basic model that has 2 properties in it, one integer and one string for my example. So we're going to keep that there for now. In the index.razor, we don't need any of this, so you get rid of it all. And now I want to bring this property into this Razor file. So how do we do that? Just like you see up here where it says add page, we're going to add the model the way you would add it in a class. Would be the using whatever the namespace name is, blah blah blah. So that's what we're going to do here, using, and then we're going to name the folder with models, the directory, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, let's add some HTML portions. I want to add an H2. I know I just deleted one, but who cares, right? Who cares? It's flow. This is a very easy project. And then we want a breakpoint. We want a break element, and we want an input HTML element there. So now this is the important bit of Blazor. In order to add actual C# logic into one of these files, you need to add a code block here. This is where all your C# logic is going to be basically compiled and used in this HTML stuff, in the HTML itself. So I want to make a string. So just like if you know C#, it's just you know, one of these. I don't care what you call it. It doesn't matter. This is going to be a variable that exists locally to this code block, and now we're going to create an object based off the model. So let's do that. So base model. So this should have access to base model. Yep. Base model example equals new base model. And now let's fill these properties in. What was it as ID? Yeah. So ID is equal to 1, let's say, and then its name will be equal to Sally. And I'm going to capitalize Bob for neatness, and I'm going to remove this. So I want to point out something. I know that I wrote this incorrectly, but before I continue, the IntelliSense of Blazor is very problematic sometimes. So even if you're writing the code correctly, and you know you're writing correctly, it might complain. So in this case, I'm wrong when writing this. But when it comes to writing correct code like this should be correct. This is denoting it as something that's wrong. So what's it saying? It says a public index. So don't worry about that. As you can see, it went away. And sometimes that will happen. So if you see that happen and you know you're correct and it's not going away like it did here, what you need to do is just close the Visual Studio out and then open it again. It will sometimes happen. That's unfortunate when it comes to the IntelliSense, but it is what it is. Anyways, let's continue. So for one-way data binding, we can do something like this. At name. Boom. This is how you refer to the to anything that's inside the code block, if they're variables. And you know what? I'm gonna have another one. This time referring to the property. So I want the object, my bad, the example, and I want its ID, and then I want its name as well. Again, very simple project. In fact, I'm gonna move that into the middle. Boom. Don't worry about this for now. We're just gonna show you what one-way data binding is gonna look like. So all these header elements are connected to the variable and the object properties. So this is just to show you that you could do either or when it comes to this. So let's see what we got. Boom, Bob, 1 Sally. Perfect, beautiful, beautiful. That's what all my years of doing programming has gotten me. Bang. So I'm gonna do this just, you know, data binding. And now we're gonna add another one down here for two-way data binding. Data binding, and add a space between. Maybe add 2 spaces just to make sure. Boom. So now we want to make a change to, now we want to do something with these properties or whatever. So in this case, we will work with this input now. So in order for you to actually make a change in Blazor, you have to bind whatever the property is to some input in this case. So we're going to work with both the string, we're going to work with just this over here. Forget Bob for now. In fact, forget Bob completely. We're not going to need him for this particular example. So in this case, We're gonna make this a type. Text, yes. We're gonna be working with the text example here. So in order for you to bind a value to an input, you have to ampersand bind, and you see that it's gonna give you all these hints. What we want is the value here. You put in equals. You put your double quotes here, and then you can add the property. So in this case, it's going to be example dot. I said dot. So again, this is an issue with the IntelliSense itself again, but yeah, this is how you do it. So I don't care about that. We're gonna put that there. So you see, it's not complaining because it's not supposed to complain. This is supposed to be correct. So let's run it and see what happens. As you can see, I'm doing it correctly because Sally is actually showing up in the input as I expected it to be. But right now, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to change anything. So nothing is you're not going to see anything rendered right now. But that is an example of the IntelliSense not being correct while you are being correct. So now let's actually bind these properties together so that when you do change the input, you change what's happening here. So in this case, bind these two properties together so that when you change the input, you change the Sally as well. So the way you do that is by adding at bind dash value. Then you put the colon. And then you'll get some, it's going to recommend you some things. What you want is the event, though. You want an event. Event equals on input. So there are two that you could use in Blazor, on input and on change. So in this case, we're just going to do it on input. So when you type it, it actually will show up. So let's show you what that looks like. As you can see, this is the variable that's tied to it. So this is one-way data binding here. This is two-way data binding because I'm actually changing it to whatever I want. And that is the end of this example of one-way and two-way data binding. So it's not much more you need. In fact, I just did the reason why I did all this is just to show you that you can do properties. You can do this with normal variables like this. It doesn't matter as long as you're writing it correctly, as long as you have one of these. And to also show you that IntelliSense is sometimes wrong even though you're correct. So I'm just going to go over this one last time. This time with the other one. Oopsie daisy. Type is equal to. We're going to put number. So in this case, we're going to do an at bind value is equal to at example dot ID. So when the IntelliSense is being like this, try to get the name right. That's correct. And then you do the same thing. It's gonna be at bind value event equals on input as well. So in this case, we're gonna be changing the ID from 1 to whatever we want. So you should also see this there as well. So here is Sally test, and here is the other one. Boom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now this works with anything. You could have a button connected to it. You can have, this input here. It really doesn't make a difference. Like this. This is working off a button, and then, it adds to a variable, and then it renders it out here. And this is one-way data binding. I went over this already. So that is really it. There's nothing much more to this one-way data binding other than remember that there is an on change and on input when it comes to this. You don't really have to worry about the other stuff, like when you go here, and then it gives you these examples. The format or culture, that's just a way that you're gonna change how it's gonna look like. What you really care about is the event when it comes to this. So that is one-way data binding. That is two-way data binding. I told you it was very simple, very easy. So I know this was a bit underwhelming, but the next one we're going to get into will hopefully be a lot better, a lot more fun. I'm telling you, Blazor is very simple. So wherever you came from JS, you came from .NET, doesn't matter. You should be able to learn this quite quickly and employ it to whatever project you're working on. So I think that's the end of it. Anyways, see you next time. Like and subscribe. I promise as we go forward, I will do more and more complex things, and eventually we'll have a nice tutorial that employs everything we just learned into one useful product. Stay tuned.